As a governor for 10.5 years, I found that many times we had folks that made decisions in Washington and they had no idea how it was going to affect the states. Fact is, we have a 10th Amendment to the Constitution that says that what we ought to have are strong states, strong local government, not an overly powerful centralized federal government, because the danger of that is that whoever gets control of it has too much control and too much power. And to the wisdom of our founding fathers, they wanted to see that power distributed across to the states. And so they codified it into law after there'd been this rather significant discussion between Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton as to whether we would have a weak central government, strong states, or a very powerful central government at the expense of what would become weak states. Jefferson won that argument, and so the 10th Amendment said that we will have strong states. New Hampshire knows something about that, has believed in it. We've got to stop the process that has moved us away from that so that we continue to empower people at the most local level of their government, because that's government that's most accountable to the people who it's supposed to serve. And by the way, one of the challenges we face is getting a government that remembers that its purpose is not to be served, but to do the serving. Ladies and gentlemen, this election is not about me, it's about we. It's about understanding that we, the people, we are the ruling class, and the people elected, they're the serving class, not the other way around. On my first day of office as governor in 1996, when I was thrust into the office because my predecessor was convicted of whitewater-related felonies. By the way, he was one of a number of people who were sent to prison in my state for committing crimes as public officials. It got so bad that for a while there, they said the 5 most feared words of an Arkansas politician were these: "Will the defendant please rise?" You got it. First day in office, July 1996, I put a big frame and a picture on the wall of my office on the 2nd floor of the state capitol in Little Rock. And in that picture frame, there was a brass inscription that said "Our Boss," and just above it, a photo. But in the 10.5 years that I was governor, my picture was never in that frame where the photo went. In fact, I made sure that the people who worked for me and the people that came into that office every day realized who the boss was. And it wasn't the guy sitting in the corner office at the state capitol with a view of the Arkansas River. Every week or so, we'd change that photo. It might be the picture of a couple celebrating a 50th wedding anniversary, or a scout getting his Eagle Award. Or it might be a picture of maybe some teenager who had rescued someone in an act of heroism. Might be a soldier. Every week or two, we would change the photo. It would always be of some ordinary citizen who lived his life in our state. And I tried to remind our staff that the person in that frame, that was our boss. We worked for that person. That person didn't work for us. And whoever came through the doors or called on the phone or wrote a letter, they weren't interrupting us. They weren't bothering us. That's who we were elected to serve. We had 2.7 million bosses, and it was our job to make sure that we took care of them first and not ourselves. I'd like to take that same spirit to Washington, D.C. and to the White House, and to be reminded that it's not a matter of you electing me so that somehow I become the ruler of the nation, but rather the servant of the nation, because I will recognize, as our founding fathers did, that the people still do rule. And that's what they do every time we have an election. They rule. They make decisions. They make choices. And that choice this time looks like it's a choice for change, a change that will challenge this nation to do the things that will make it better.